Hi everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today I'm going to talk about if you can sync CFD or Forex data with uh, basically data that you can find on something like bar charts for futures data to see if they can be synchronized. It's really just to see if there's any patterns we can find across the volume for better orders. So let's get to it before we get started. If you're interested to know how to automate stuff like this, you can always get our free books, quantlabs.net/, and you'll get your opt-in. You'll be able to get 2 free PDFs for those books. Okay, so earlier today, I showed you how to use this site, bar chart, most active all futures, to be able to see if you can determine. This is the full list. I'm not sure if this includes Asia, but it looks somewhat alive for some instruments here. Not a lot of activity, obviously, but let's compare this against what we have in terms of what Motive Wave has. Okay, so we have here our Oanda CFDs. I've shown this before. I've done a harmonic scan looking for the excellent signs, as you know. So you can see here we've got some pretty good, let's see the price here. I'm going to get rid of some of these patterns here. Let's see here, I'm going to delete edit instrument. We're going to remove that. This helps. Well, it's good to see how things plan out. And remove. So this is the Australian New Zealand dollar. Okay, so you can see here, this is a daily chart. So this is what I've been talking about for the last little bit. So come this time in around here, sometime in March, April, it's been doing really well. This has been the trade, the currency to trade. With a couple of coming off on that volume there. Let's see how the French 40's doing. Get rid of these. And the last one here. That one's been doing okay. I don't think it'll be doing as good as the US. We can see here it is pointing towards up, targeting at a higher than the price. But it's just not convincing me. Now I have to admit that the struggles you can see here on the struggles of Forex. This one should be okay. New Zealand, probably not as strong as the one above. The very first one of being the Australian New Zealand. That's a good combination. All of the prices are moving up. So you can see the harmonic target is higher. So this one's okay. See how we've identified the Norwegian is pretty good as well. But the problem is if we try to trade that in the futures market, that is a no-go. Just found a simple way to get rid of this. Let's see if that works. Yeah. Okay, so that's not very good. Euro against the Australian. GBP and against the Canadian. Nah. Folks, the only ones that I would say is this one. Australian against New Zealand. Was looking pretty good there. So we're on the daily. That's looking pretty good, but our target you can see is below what we wanted. The French, obviously, we can't trade that at all. So the European against the British pound looks okay. The euro against the New Zealand, this is a good one. That's not a bad one either. So what can we take out of this? All right. So okay. I would say out of that lot, the only one is this one, if that or that. Still tough to say because we're still hitting these flatline conditions. The overall market in the crypto is very low. Thank you. I just saw a like. I appreciate it. All right. So the only ones we can look at to gauge performance here is sugar, the 10-year T-note, S&P 500, the 5-year, and I think the Australian dollar we can maybe look at in the T-bond, and the oil we can look at as well, just to get. Sugar is a really good one. Let me show you why. I like sugar. Well, we all like sugar, but U.S. dollar 4. We'll say 4 hour. Okay. So here we go. Let's get rid of some of these guys here. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's a nice trade. That's turning out to be on a rebound again. So this might be a nice futures contract to go after if you can afford it. Definitely. Sugar's looking good. 10-year T-note. Let's see what this one says. So we'll do a bond. I think we need to see if I can find the. Now this is a treasury or bond. See if we can find that. No. USA. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention I've got IQ feed and Oanda. So I want to make sure we're under the Oanda feed here, not the IQ feed. Again, thank you again. So we have here the 30-year bond. Let's see USB if we can find the 2-year. Let's see what, I know it's in here. I'm sorry to do this to people. Okay, so in here, so here we have the USB 30. Dun. Let's see here. I know it's here. 2-year. Let's see if that will come up. Here we go, I hope. USB 2-year. Okay, so we want the 4-hour. Get rid of this guy and get rid of that guy. Interesting. Very interesting. So we're at, let's see here. So we're at 555, 110. 110 moving up just a few basis points. You're not going to be making oodles of money here. But from a contractual point of view, we might be hitting some new leg points. If I did the technicals with the support and all that, I think I could probably show that. But you can see here it has moved up. Now the 2-year is not that expensive to do, to be honest. It's only 500, so that's doable if you're starting out. So let me see the 10-year as well. So let's see the 10-year. Let's see what we can get here. 10-year. US 10. Ah, gotta make sure I get the right feed. Okay, so this is what we want here. No, we want that one. 4 hour, yes. Get rid of that, and get rid of that. So it's similar. Um, so the 2 year, if the market's tanked, this is a good place to be in a futures contract, without a doubt. But that's all depending upon the markets and more news driven, as you know. So if you want my opinion, sugar's a definite lower risk to do, and that's looking really good. From 9 cents all the way up to 12 cents, it's a 25% move in not very long time for a contract that's pretty good. So let's look at the S&P. I have to do the SPX. Let's see what here. Let's see, SP. Yeah, I guess I'll have to do the SPX 500. So the daily chart again. The recovery's looking good, but the talk on the town is not doing good. So again, sugar's a lower risk because most likely that can be, well, I can't say this because it does get hit on the poor performance on the S&P 500, as you can see there. The Treasury went through the same thing. Well, let me see here in March. Is that daily? No, we want daily. So you can see here, it's had a nice run up in March. So that's a really good defense if the markets do tank. So have those purchase orders on hand. Let's go back here. See what else we have here that we can look at. Now I've talked about defensive for the currencies. I've already shown one pair that looks good. There's no coffee. There's no lean hog. Cocoa, I'm not sure if I can do that. Let me just see here, cocoa. I'll go under here, under Oanda, Let's see if we have any of that. No, we don't. For CFD equivalent. This one, when you see the volume for the Australian dollar, that is a strong sign. This is a really good coin to be in. And of course, we've already shown the Australian dollar. But let's say if you decided to buy the Australian dollar, but a future equivalent, but in you want AUD. Let's see if we can find it. USD. AUD. Let's see what we have under Oanda. So this is what we want here. So we're looking for performance. So it does get affected back in March. It is on a recovery of some kind, but that is probably your strongest currency out there right now. So there's some legitimacy with that one. Crude oil, that's Brent, that's BTO as a CFD. We'll look at that. Again, I'm not looking at the technicals right now. I'm just more interested in, so we want BCO. It's Brent crude oil. So you can see it's bouncing off again. So here's what we can do. So we'll stop there, or maybe I should add the yen just in case, just for kicks. So we'll do the Japanese yen against the US dollar because that's typical of the futures contract if we went after that or wanted to do it. Japanese yen. Wow, they don't like me. JPY, come on. Okay, here we go. So we want no Japanese yen. Okay, so what we could do is we go over IQ fee. There should be a Japanese yen and US dollar. Supposed to be. JPY. Okay, let me just try yen then. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so I'll go back to Oanda and look for anything Japanese yen. Let's say gold and Japanese yen. Let's see how that does. Okay, so here we are. That's too volatile, so I'll forget that. All right, so for those out there using strictly these 1, 2, 3, 6 instruments, I've done this before with either the Hearst premium. It's a premium study with MotiveWave, meaning the most expensive edition. So you'll see why this is very good. Hopefully you've seen these in the past. I'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. So, as you know, we want this is Brent crude. This is not very convincing. So if there is a leg up, it's going to be right here in July, if all goes well, based upon historical performance. But again, I'm not sure if I could say I'd try that. If I apply the same to good old, oh, looks like my MotiveWave just crashed. Baha. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. But just as an example, I apologize for that. But what I'll do is, yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. And I would say out of that, sugar is probably a good one. It's low risk. And you know, I'll be putting this stuff in the private. So again, if you want more information, there's 2 ways to go about it. If you want, just fill in your details here at quantlabs.net. I've just launched a new store, testing stuff out, quantlabs.shop. That's for the programmatic DVD in both MotiveWave as a software you just saw, and the Python bot as well. It's only $20, and that's got a little presentation here and other things. So you can always go to quantlabs.shop. All right, so we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a good day. And thanks for the likes.